What is going on, guys? Noah here with Custom RC Mods. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the workshop. In today's episode, I've got yet another plane build. This one is for the FT VersaWing. I'm super excited for this, and you guys might be thinking to yourself, Noah, are you out of your mind? Don't you have enough wings already? And it is true. We've got the FT Aero, we've got the Ready-Made RC Mini Recruit, and we have the Walmart Wing, of course, not even to mention 2 Goblins and a whole host of other Bank and Yank airplanes. So there really isn't a lot of need for another wing, but this one's going to be really special. First off, it's not your just run-of-the-mill VersaWing here. It's not going to have the tractor configuration from the power pod. This one is going to be converted into the pusher configuration. And then the main difference, of course, is these LEDs you see right here. I'm going to be adding them in for better night flying experiences overall. I did actually have some LEDs, if you would remember, on the previous FT Mini Aero. However, I found that was really hard to fly at night. It's just so fast with the race quad motor, and it was just not relaxing at all because it's hard to keep orientation just as it is. So for this one, we're going to be using a little bit smaller of a motor for this wing, as well as more LEDs, so it should be more relaxed, laid back, and more fun altogether to fly this in the dead of night. So yeah, I'll get into the LED setup here in a second, but let's just go ahead and run through my other electronics we've got. First off, just the servos. These are the standard SG90 servos. Really nice, inexpensive 9-gram servos. And you'll see I actually am running them on all the planes pretty much you see behind me there. For my receiver, this is a very standard Lemon RX 6-channel ultralight receiver with a satellite. The satellite really helps here. DSMX, of course, binding up to my DX6. And then we do have the motor system right here, which is a ZTW 30 amp ESC and an A2212 1000 kV motor. And this combo right here is just really not that powerful. It's about the Power Pack B spec system on here. And this one is really recommended to run with a Power Pack C. So yeah, then again, it's really not going to be that fast of an experience. So hopefully this is going to slow it down enough. You'll still have power to punch out. And wings generally handle low power situations very, very well. But this is just going to be a little bit more relaxed to kind of accommodate night flying a little bit better. Now to match up with that, we have 2 prop options. I'm probably going to be running this 8x3.8, I believe, prop from GemFan, but we can go up to the 9x4.7 slow fly. We'll just have to cut a little bit more out of the slot there in the back by the elevons. But we're going to start off with the 8-inch prop and see where that gets us in terms of temperature and flight performance. And then, of course, the battery right here is a Rhino 2200 milliamp hour. This is a 25C pack. It's pretty nice. These are only $6 if you guys saw them on Hobby King. A great deal, and they have a nice amount of weight. It's going to be better for this build right here. And hopefully we'll be able to embed this in the front of the wing so it doesn't kind of stick out like it does on the FT Aero there. So yeah, that's it for my main flight components. Of course, over here we have our LEDs, and the LED system I'll be using is from Walmart. It's actually an Aura LED USB system, remote controlled. I don't even know. I don't think they sell that anymore. It kind of comes back during the holidays, but I have done a few projects like Tiny Whip Gates, other planes. The previous FT Aero and Simple Solar builds that I've done with the nighttime configuration have been using these LEDs, so I've got a big wad of them from past projects over here. I will actually be doing a separate video on how I get these installed in the VersaWing, so I'm going to do that kind of in the middle of this build video here. So stay tuned for that for sure if you guys are interested in how I do this, but this is just going to be a run through right here. I'll have that video linked down in the description below once I get it done. So yeah, we've got a basic 5-volt USB output, and of course, if you guys would remember, all receivers power out to the servos 5 volts of regulated current or regulated voltage for the servos there. So we can just go ahead and tap into that right there via a servo cable. So yeah, other than that, pretty standard overall. I am going to be doing a few things. Let's go ahead and grab the Aero here. You guys would probably remember how we did this build with the FT Goblin in that video. This one is actually smoothed over, so there's no ridges. It's going to be super, super nice, as well as it's laminated with packing tape. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the lamination. It does add a lot of weight, and especially on a less powerful setup, that could come back to bite me. But a smoother airfoil design is really going to be nice. And then I'm going to somehow find a way to still use some sort of tape scheme for daytime orientation, and then we can go ahead and of course kind of route these LEDs through the bottom and the top for the nighttime orientation. And I'll kind of wrap that up at the end of this video and just kind of go talk about what was going through my head during that process. But it's going to be very similar to the FT Mini Aero, which I love a lot with the lamination and the smooth airfoil ridges. Alright, so that's about it for this overview here. In the beginning at least, we've got 2 sheets of foam, we've got my plans all cut out, all printed out, and I'm really excited to get this done. 16 sheets of paper, 2 sheets of foam, pretty simple overall. Let's go ahead and get into the build. Alright guys, so as you can see here, the VersaWing has been completed. It's been a few days, but I did my best and really got a good result out of this wing. First things first, my initial impressions after the build, this thing is really solid, and it's actually a little bit bigger than I thought it would initially be. Obviously I'm used to flying like the Arrow and the Mini Recruit, so having something like this is going to be a bit different. I hope that's a good thing, and I hope it's going to be really smooth, even though it may not be as fast. But yeah, as you can see here, we've got a 3D printed simple firewall. This one is courtesy of my good buddy Alexander, who I go flying with a lot, and he is the man for 3D printing, so thank you for that one. He's helped me out with a lot of 3D prints on some of my planes around the fleet, and then of course we're rocking that 8-inch prop like we said there. I am actually rocking an external battery. As you can see here, I kind of figured that it would actually reflect the light better on the inside of the wing right here if I didn't have a battery blocking the inside light travel, if that makes sense. So it's no biggie. I've got it securely mounted with some Velcro and a strap around it, so we're good to go. This battery isn't going anywhere, and you know who I'm talking about when it comes to losing batteries in fields off of wings after doing negative G maneuvers. So yeah. Anyway, there's 2 servos in here, and I found out they're actually not the same. They weren't from the same batch of SG90s, so one's super weak and one's rather strong, so I had to go ahead and mess with the travel settings a little bit, but I'm kind of concerned. We'll see how it goes, but I really have no other option other than to just try it out, because you really can't get back in here and change which servos you use for your build, especially on these wings that there's no access hatches. So yeah, concealed servos, not really that good, but overall should be fine. Jacked up my travel a little bit, and I think everything's going to be even and good to go. We've got everything all balanced out, and I think this thing's ready for a flight. So let's go ahead and plug this thing in. I'll do some quick control testing and talk about my ESC, which I think I'm going to murder with all these lights you can see that just came on. But we've got our control surfaces right here. Good enough throw, I guess, but you can see this servo right here is a lot more responsive than this one, which is sluggish and weak. And then, of course, this is a very loud plane. I think it's just due to the amount of space between the prop and the back of this wing right here that's causing that. But let's go ahead and kill the lights and look at this LED setup here. So you can see, guys, look at this. This is so cool. From the top, we've got it going all the way around the spar on both sides, so it lights up the entire wing. And then on the back side, to maintain orientation, I went ahead and put 2 strips in right here facing downward. If you guys saw the other video, you would know how I did this. But yeah, it looks super good. I'm really happy with it. And hopefully this is going to be a good solution for keeping orientation during the night. But yeah, really happy with this VersaWing build. It is just so clean overall, especially in the nighttime. It's not my cleanest build, in the daytime, but when you light this thing up, it really looks good, and it literally shines. So let's go ahead and turn the lights back on here, and as you can see, what a awesome night flying airplane. One problem I have is that this 30 amp ESC, the BEC with I believe it's like 2 amps, is really not liking this at all. It's getting super hot. Just from that, I mean, I can barely keep my fingers on it. It's so hot. So I'm going to go ahead and dig that out, and I might upgrade to a 40 amp ESC at least, or just use a separate BEC for the lights. They do run off of 5 volts, so it's not really taxing any of the other electronic components. It's just a lot for the ESC to go ahead and power the motor and all the flight control systems with the BEC and these LED lights on top of that, and there is quite a few. This is definitely the most LEDs that I've used in a plane so far. So yeah, that's about it for the VersaWing build, guys. I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure to stay tuned for a maiden flight. That will be during the daytime, but then later we'll be doing some more night flying with this airplane. So super cool plane here. I can't wait to get this thing up in the air. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see how these LEDs were put in here and how I got them all wired up, how you can do it yourself for $5, please go ahead, check out the video in the description below. I did a full tutorial on how I did this, as well as I'll have some links to those products that I used down in the description of that video as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. Recommend any videos down in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.